My child, stop and listen with your heart. This is a sensitive moment in your spiritual transmission. Everything in your world has been moving, tugging, swirling with decisions and noise, and then this appeared in front of you at the exact second I intended. Do not assume you stumbled here by accident. Heaven has paused your timeline to deliver a precise instruction and to position you for a connection I have already approved. Stay with me until the end, because this moment marks the crossing from what almost happened to what I have actually planned. You did not find this message. I placed it in your path because I am shifting something beneath the surface. The timing is not random. I am aligning details you cannot see, roots, schedules, glances, a sentence spoken in passing, and I am bringing them into harmony with the prayer you whispered when no one was watching. This interruption is not a distraction. It is a rescue. It is me drawing a circle around you and saying, pause here, so that you do not run past what I am sending. Do not argue with the pause. Honor it. To click away now would be like hanging up the phone while heaven is answering your call. It would be like closing the door just as the key is turning from the other side. This is not fear. This is urgency born of love, because there is a subtle confirmation intended for your heart today, and it will make more sense if you remain present. I am not after your attention for attention's sake. I am after your protection. You have reached a delicate handoff, and I am placing clarity into your spirit, like a quiet code that unlocks your next step. Hear me. A divine connection is approaching your life, but it will not arrive in the way your defenses have trained you to expect. You have braced for thunder and waited for fireworks, for the dramatic gesture that overwhelms and dazzles. That is not what I am sending. What I am sending will carry an authority that does not need to shout. It will not impress you with adrenaline. It will rest upon you like a still morning. The sign that it is from me will be peace. Unmistakable, steady, protective peace. My child, I see how the last seasons have taught you to scan the horizon for danger, to anticipate storms, to measure love by intensity and chase. But the era of being pulled by chaos is ending. I am reteaching your heart to recognize me by calm, not by crisis. The connection I have prepared for you has been in the works longer than you realize. And now the window opens, not with a bang, but with a gentle click. Do not miss the sound because you prefer the thunder. I am not torturing your hopes. I am cleansing them. This pause you feel, this sense that time thinned and your day slowed, is evidence that I am protecting you from collisions that are not yours. I have redirected people, delayed messages, and closed doors that looked glittering but carried hidden snares. I have spared you from what would excite your wounds and exhaust your spirit. I am not withholding good, I am preserving the best. The difference matters. What is mine will not play with your peace to keep your attention. Stay with me now. Let each word arrive like a steadying hand on your shoulder. Your next chapter is not being built in spectacle. It is being woven in small obediences and quiet yeses. If you will treat this moment as holy, if you will resist the urge to rush back into the noise, I will make your steps obvious. I am softening the ground beneath your feet, because what is coming needs room to land without being trampled by old patterns. Your nervous system has learned to prepare for impact. I am teaching it to prepare for rest. I am placing you in the right place at the right time. Not once, but repeatedly, like a rhythm only you can feel. You will notice the difference by the absence of force. You will not need to pry it open. You will not need to rehearse who you must be to be chosen. The door I open swings on the hinge of peace. When it appears, you will feel your spirit exhale, and the frantic need to perform will quiet. This is one of the ways I speak to you. Let peace become the language you trust. Do not despise the ordinary vessels I may use. a conversation that seems simple, a familiar hallway you walk every day, a message that does not sparkle but feels strangely safe. The quiet doorway will not announce itself with a parade, because I have hidden it from eyes that hunt for drama. Your part is to keep your heart soft, your pace unhurried, and your ears tuned to the still frequency of my leading. When I nudge, do not delay. When I whisper, do not demand a shout. I know what you have carried. I know the parts of you that are tired of hoping. That is why I am speaking now with such care and strength. I am not asking you to manufacture excitement. I am asking you to recognize me. You are hearing this now because heaven has scheduled a quiet but life-shifting connection for you. This is not a tease. It is a tender alert that the alignment has begun, and that your safest signal will be the calm that settles over you as you step toward it. So, my child, stay present. Do not click away. Let this word anchor you for what unfolds after you close your eyes tonight. For the gentle confirmations I will thread through your day. I will not rush you. I will steady you. I will not confuse you. I will clarify you. And as you hold this pause with me, you will notice it, the difference between noise and purpose, between pressure and promise, between intensity and the unmistakable peace that marks what I send. The moment your timeline paused was not random, it was me, turning you toward the quiet that will change everything. My child, let me speak to that ache that will not sit still inside you. You have noticed it, the strange restlessness that keeps rising even on calm days, the sudden tiredness that drapes over you at odd hours, the feeling that something is about to happen, though nothing around you has shifted. You have woken in the night and could not name why. You have felt a pull to rearrange the small things, to clear a corner, to delete numbers, to step back from noise you used to tolerate. You have felt bursts of energy and then an inexplicable heaviness, like the weather changed inside your chest. This is not random. This is not you unraveling. Your spirit has recognized footsteps before your eyes could see who was walking toward you. When something I have ordained approaches your life, the ground of your inner world picks up the vibration first. The way the air shifts before rain, the way the floor hums before you hear a knock. Your spirit feels the movement of what I am sending. You are not imagining the quiet pressure. It is the signal of alignment. I have calibrated you to my frequency, and as the appointed moment moves closer, your inner world trembles with a holy anticipation that logic cannot explain. Do not label this as anxiety just because you cannot measure it with the tools you used in past seasons. This is sensitivity, not chaos. This is discernment waking up in you. I have seen how many times you have waited, hoped, and reached. I watched you plan conversations that never happened and write messages that you deleted because you were tired of seeming needy. I saw you pray with a brave face while your heart sank when another door closed after you dared to hope. I counted the nights you lay still so no one would hear you cry, and I noticed the mornings you told yourself, "Maybe I read it wrong," when what looked promising evaporated into silence. You have not been invisible to me, not for one breath. I was there when your hope felt like a joke. I was there when you said, "If you are writing a story for me, why does every chapter feel like a half-finished sentence?" Hear me. I was not mocking your hope. I was maturing it. I was not ignoring your tears. I was preparing a place where those tears become testimony. The pressure you feel is preparation, not punishment. I have been clearing space in you and around you so you can tell the difference between what flatters your loneliness and what nourishes your spirit. I have been removing noise, conversations that keep you spinning, patterns that train your nervous system to live on edge, small addictions to distraction that numb you at the exact moments you need to feel. I have touched your schedule, your appetite, your desires, and even your preferences, not to make you smaller, but to free your hands from what you were clutching so you can receive what I am sending. I have pressed on crowded rooms in your heart, and you called it restlessness, but it was really me making room. This is why some places feel too loud now, and some people you once tolerated now feel heavy. This is why the surface thrills have lost their sparkle, and the old games feel like sand. Your spirit is done with scrambling. It is done with auditioning for affection. It is done with chasing thunder. Even your body has been preaching to you. Your breath finds you. Your shoulders drop when you step away from what is not mine. Your sleep returns in windows as I bring your system back to calm. I am restoring you so you can recognize peace when it stands in front of you, wearing ordinary clothes. Stay with me. Near the end, I will show you the exact way this will feel when it arrives, so you do not mislabel it as ordinary. There is a texture to it, a signature you will not miss, but you must remain present long enough to learn the language. You have asked me, if this is you, why does it feel like pressure? Because pressurizing is how I seal what I am forming. I am not crushing you, I am curing you. Like a vessel placed in a kiln to be made strong, you have been in a season where heat revealed hairline cracks that would have leaked under the weight of real love. Do not resent what I exposed. The loneliness you felt was not proof of your unworthiness. It was proof of your incompatibility with counterfeit arrangements. I refused to let you settle for a version of connection that required you to abandon yourself to be chosen. I closed doors that would have applauded your wounds. I rerouted you away from tables where your peace would be the price of admission. I did not do this to starve you. I did this to starve the parts of you that fed on scraps while royal bread was baking. Listen to me, my child. The internal stirring, the urge to clean your room at midnight, the sudden need to step outside and breathe, the compulsion to simplify, the unexpected desire to revisit a place you have not been in a while. All of this is part of the choreography. I am guiding your steps in ways your mind will recognize only in hindsight. The message you feel to text and the restraint you feel at the same moment. The quiet courage to unsubscribe from chaos. The comfort you feel when you choose silence over spectacle. Those are not indecisions. Those are tiny obediences that tune you to peace. Do not rush to label every sensation. Ask me, is this you? And notice how your spirit answers. Anxiety will spike and scramble. My leading will steady and ground. I know the playbooks of your past. Love that arrived like a storm and left you sorting through debris. Attention that spiked your adrenaline and then plunged you into withdrawal. Promises that required you to perform until you could not hear your own thoughts. The connection I am sending is different. Your system must be able to receive rest without calling it boredom. That is why the restlessness is happening now. It is flushing out your addiction to intensity, detoxing your reflex to chase, quieting your compulsion to earn. I am turning down the volume on your fear so you can hear the soft yes when it comes. In the days opening before you, you will notice the unrest changing shape. It will not vanish in a flash. It will begin to translate. Where there was a jitter, there will be a gentler movement, like a river finding its path. You will feel prompted to be in certain places at certain times without the usual overthinking. You will sense a peace that does not demand proof. You will catch yourself smiling without reason. You will begin to prefer what nourishes over what dazzles. This is your spirit aligning ahead of the reveal. Do not despise the process. Do not fear the quiet. Do not assume that because there is no thunder, there is no miracle. I am the one stirring your waters, so they can hold the blessing I am sending. Breathe with me now. Let your shoulders release. Put your hand on your heart and listen. The restlessness is not a red flag. It is the drumbeat of approach. Something is coming that will not take from you to prove itself. It will ask nothing violent from your soul. It will fit like truth. And when it steps through the quiet doorway, you will know, not by fireworks, but by the unmistakable peace that tells you, this is what you have been sensing all along. Stay with me. The next instruction is near. My child, listen closely. This is where the pattern breaks. You have been watching the sky for thunder because pain taught you to measure love by the size of the storm. Your body remembers adrenaline and called it chemistry. Your mind remembers late-night spins and called it fighting for us. Your heart mistook the flutter of fear for butterflies. You were trained by chaos to believe that peace is boring and pressure is proof. That training ends now. I am re-educating your spirit. I am removing the false markers so you do not keep choosing intensity over safety. Hear me. Not every knock that rattles the door is a rescue. The counterfeit knows how to arrive loud, how to complement your emptiness, how to mirror your words, how to rush you until your boundaries feel like obstacles to fate. The counterfeit will always demand an immediate yes to avoid being examined. It will make you feel like you are already behind, like you owe intimacy you have not discerned yet, like if you breathe and think you will lose it. It thrives on confusion because confusion keeps you from listening to me. It will inflate small promises into a spectacle and then punish you for needing time. It will require you to audition for what I already approved. This is not my way. My connection moves differently. Covenant steadies, it does not scramble. What I send will not require you to shrink your voice to keep the peace. It will multiply your peace. It will not guilt you into speed. It will honor your pace. It will not need a stage to convince you. It will carry a signature that whispers, safe. The right one will not rush what I am building. They will protect the process because they are not chasing a high. They are aligning with a holy assignment. Your mind will not have to run laps to justify their behavior. Your heart will not need to contort to fit. Your body will exhale. Decisions will become clearer, not cloudier. If it costs your peace, it is not my best. Let that become your test. I have spoken in fire and wind, yes, but often I identify myself by the gentle voice that calms storms rather than starting them. I am the stillness that follows the shaking, the whisper that comes after the noise. I do not compete with chaos. I end it. My guidance does not spike your panic, it settles your soul. The sign is not panic, it is alignment. When I lead, the pieces do not all arrive at once, but they start agreeing with each other. Your desires, your values, your boundaries, and your schedule stop fighting. They begin to harmonize. That harmony is my fingerprint. You have been addicted to emotional highs because the enemy fed you a diet of spikes and drops, jolts and crashes, until your nervous system forgot what normal felt like. He dressed instability in romance and called your exhaustion passion. He used intensity to distract you from the absence of fruit. He flattered your ache and then starved your peace. But I am breaking that cycle. I am washing the residue of crisis out of your thinking, so you do not confuse adrenaline for anointing. When I heal you, you will choose steady over sensational, clarity over chemistry, wholeness over hype. Do not resent the parts of you that crave quiet now. That craving is not laziness, it is wisdom waking up. You are not too picky for preferring conversations that do not spin you into knots. You are not asking for too much when you require consistency. Peace is not a luxury reserved for later. It is the doorway you must insist on now. Without peace, you cannot hear me. Without peace, you cannot tell the difference between a performance and a promise. Make peace your non-negotiable, because it is mine. And know this, what I am sending will not always look like the story you wrote, when you were tired and dreaming of rescue. It may not be the dramatic entrance in a glittering room, or the text that explodes like fireworks at midnight. It may find you in a routine place, on a Tuesday in the aisle you always walk, in a responsibility you almost resented, in a humble moment where you were simply showing up. It may be tied to a small obedience, being on time, answering an email with care, serving where I told you to serve, going back to a place you quietly avoided. This is why you must not despise the ordinary vessels I use. The quiet doorway is hidden in the fabric of your life, so that spectacle chasers walk past it and you, tuned to peace, walk through. Pay attention to the contrast I'm about to create. The counterfeit will try to reappear, pressing on your fear of missing out, demanding access you have not granted, stirring drama around a decision that should be simple. It will use words like meant to be to skip the work of alignment. It will insist that boundaries are unspiritual, but my connection will honor order. It will ask, what does peace look like for you? And then join you there. It will match your pace instead of mocking it. It will respect your no and celebrate your yes. Where the wrong one drains you, the right one will help you guard what is sacred. Where the wrong one multiplies noise, the right one will multiply clarity. Let me coach your discernment with something very practical. When you engage, notice your breath. Does it climb into your throat, shallow and urgent like you are being chased? Or does it drop into your lungs, slow and present like you are arriving home? Notice your mind. Does it argue with itself, collecting evidence to quiet fear? Or does it rest, not because you know everything, but because you do not have to defend yourself to belong? Notice your schedule. Does it get hijacked without consent? Or do your priorities become easier to honor with them in your world? Peace is not a mood. It is my witness in you. Follow it. Ask me, is this you? And watch how I answer with steadiness. You will not need to manipulate signs to make them fit. You will not have to talk yourself into hope. I will confirm in ways that bring relief, not obsession. I will align circumstances without asking you to betray yourself. I will give you space to think and time to pray. And in that space, you will find joy. Not the jittery joy of a gamble, but the deep joy of something true settling into place. Stay with me. I am not keeping you from excitement. I am leading you into fulfillment. The era of chasing thunder is closing. The age of recognizing me by peace is beginning. Let every expectation shaped by pain be surrendered now. Let every lie that says, if it's not intense, it's not love, fall to the ground. Train your eyes for the quiet doorway, because that is where this divine connection will meet you. Simple, practical, protected. And when it does, you will know it by this. You can breathe, your mind clears, your heart is guarded and open at the same time, and the room inside you fills with the steady light of peace. This is how you will recognize what I sent. If it costs your peace, release it. If it increases your peace, step toward it. I am with you in the choosing. My child, come closer. Let me put your hand on the handle of what is about to open. You have been training your senses to recognize peace, and now I am showing you the doorway peace will use. It will not crash. It will not demand. It will not perform. It will arrive like a soft knock that respects your boundaries, like an email that reads calm, like a presence that fits into the cadence I have been forming in you. This is the quiet doorway, simple, practical, protected. And I have aligned it with your path so precisely that you will think, how did this land right here, right now? Do not dismiss the ordinary. I hide holy things there on purpose. Think of a door not as an event, but as access, proximity, invitation, a small opening you did not plan that appears in the right place at the right time. It may be a literal door, a neighbor moment on your front step, a delivery mix-up that becomes a brief, kind exchange. a friend stopping by to return something and staying to ask a thoughtful question, a seat beside you at a gathering that you did not choose but feel strangely grateful for. Or it may be a symbolic door, a message that lands without fanfare and yet steadies your breathing, an introduction through someone you trust, a work task that pairs you with a person whose pace feels compatible with your peace, a church encounter that feels like family before formality, a family connection that resurfaces with sincerity and clean intention. Doors are everywhere when you are tuned to peace. You kept waiting for banners and a spotlight because fantasy promised you safety through spectacle. But reality with me protects you by humility. I am sending your answer through ordinary channels to hide it from interference, opinions that are not wise, jealous eyes that do not deserve access, premature commentary that would pressure you into a performance. I do this not to reduce your joy, but to preserve it. If I sent it with a parade, you would be pulled into management and hype. If I tuck it into the fabric of your real life, you will meet it as yourself. I have posted guardians at this threshold, angels of timing, restraint, and order, so the connection can form strength before others name it, poke at it, and rush it. Notice how a door works with dignity. It invites, it does not invade. The wrong one pounds and demands you unlock everything at once. The one I send knocks gently and is willing to wait. The wrong one jiggles the handle and calls it passion. The one I send honors your privacy, your process, your prayer. The wrong one wants access without cost. The one I send will bring their peace as their offering at the threshold. Remember this as I list the small openings I am arranging, because some may sound unimpressive to the part of you taught to chase fireworks. Listen with your spirit. A small request may become the key. Can you help me with this? Not manipulation, not flattery, simply a practical need that threads your paths with ease. A practical conversation may hold it, schedules, plans, logistics that reveal shared values without a speech. A shared responsibility may carry it, serving together, covering a gap, cleaning up when others scatter, and discovering a mutual rhythm. An apology may open it, not a performance, but a clean, humble acknowledgement that makes room for new trust. A collaboration may draw it out, a project that requires steady communication and exposes neither of you to unnecessary pressure. An unexpected check-in, just wanted to see how you were doing, may be the first knock that feels like home. Or an invitation may come your way that you would normally overlook. Helping at a table, attending a small gathering, revisiting a place you quietly avoided. And peace will sit on that invitation like a soft weight in your chest that says, go. Do not despise small beginnings. I delight to start big things in small ways because small keeps you honest. Small keeps pretenders disinterested. Small lets your spirit breathe and observe without the noise of an audience. I am not teasing you with crumbs. I am laying a trail of bread that leads to a table built to last. If you rush past the crumbs because they do not look like a full meal, you will walk past the oven where I am baking something better than fast food for your heart. Pay attention to proximity. The doorway may appear through adjacency, not appearance. Someone already near the edges of your life, reliable, respectful, consistent, may step a little closer. It will not feel like a leap. It will feel like a shift. Or someone new will enter your orbit in a capacity that emphasizes service over seduction. That is on purpose. Service reveals character quickly. Peace does not need costumes. When function comes first, helping, solving, building, pretense falls away, and truth stands without makeup. Watch who protects your time, who notices your boundaries and nods, who offers solutions without stringing you along with promises. These are peacekeepers, and I am drawing one toward you. Let me be practical about your part, because doors require choices. Do not swing your life wide open for pressure, and do not deadbolt against healthy curiosity. Open a respectful inch to what carries peace. Answer messages that steady you. Decline invitations that scramble you. Say yes to the small obedience. Arriving on time, preparing with care, showing up where I nudged you, checking your tone before you answer, holding your standards without apology. The hinge of this door is your obedience in small things. You are signaling to heaven, I am ready to host what is holy without chaos. And I am answering by synchronizing moments that look plain to others but feel sacred to you. You may find this doorway when you are not on. You will not need your performance costume. You might be in comfortable clothes, in your ordinary task, in your routine route. This is not to embarrass you. It is to free you. I am reminding you that you are not chosen because you dazzled. You are chosen because you are mine, and I am crafting a union that honors who I made you to be. When the knock comes, your heart will not lurch with panic. It will lean forward with curiosity. You will not imagine speeches. You will ask honest questions. You will not shrink. You will settle. Stay with me until the end of this transmission, because I will give you a clear filter to test every knock. How to know when it is my peace and not merely temporary comfort dressed as kindness. For now, train your ear for the tone of the knock. Counterfeit urgency rattles, true alignment taps. Counterfeit flattery inflates and then leaks. True alignment quietly fits. Counterfeit chemistry spikes and crashes. True alignment hums like a note that does not waver when the room gets quiet. I am guarding this process because I love you. I am not asking you to memorize a script. I am inviting you to host peace at your threshold. If a moment feels like heavy air pressing you to comply, let it pass. If a moment feels like fresh air inviting you to breathe and consider, open a little more. If a request comes wrapped in panic, step back. If a request comes wrapped in order, presence, and patience, step forward. You will not miss what is mine by being careful. You will protect it. And as you practice this, the quiet doorway will not be a mystery. You will recognize it by the way your life makes room without you having to push. My child, the door is already being fitted to your frame. The handle is warm because I have touched it. The path to it is becoming familiar because I have led you down it in prayer. When it appears, through a literal knock or a simple message, through an introduction or a shared task, do not look away because it feels ordinary. Look again, feel the peace. Ask me in a whisper, is this you? And sense how your spirit settles. The arrival will be quiet, and the room beyond it will be safe. Walk toward that. I am with you at the doorway, and I am waiting on the other side. My child, hear me now, because as your doorway comes into view, interference will try to crowd the hall. When I schedule a holy meeting, distractions multiply. When heaven sets a time, noise arrives to bend your clock. Do not be surprised if old numbers buzz again, if sudden compliments land in your inbox, if invitations appear that feel flattering but frantic. This is the moment where lesser things sense they are losing their hold and try to make a scene. Stay with me until the end. This is a critical intervention designed to save you from more heartbreak. The counterfeit carries a signature, and I want you to memorize its sound. It is impatience dressed up as destiny. It is pressure to decide quickly before you can pray. It is confusion that swirls after conversation instead of clarity that settles. It is secrecy. Let's keep this between us for now, not to protect what is sacred, but to prevent wise eyes from seeing what is wrong. It is emotional whiplash. Adoration in the morning, cold distance by evening, apologies that reset the clock but never change the pattern. It is that old ache that whispers you must perform to be chosen. Laugh a little louder, answer a little faster, reveal a little more than your peace allows. Because if you do not, love will disappear. Remember this: the counterfeit will rush you. My connection will steady you. Watch how manipulation behaves versus ministry. Manipulation drains you and calls your exhaustion proof that you are invested. Ministry, love that serves, like I serve, strengthens you even in silence. With manipulation, you leave interactions replaying your words, arranging explanations, collecting evidence to soothe your fear. With ministry, you leave conversations breathing deeper, not because everything is known, but because nothing is demanded. Manipulation punishes your pause. Ministry respects your pace. Manipulation hides from counsel. Ministry invites counsel and does not fear light. The wrong one will make you feel like boundaries are betrayal. The right one will treat your boundaries like valuables they are honored to guard. You will recognize the counterfeit by its hunger for speed. It will ask for access without stewardship. It will want intimacy without history, trust without time, influence without accountability. It will quote spiritual language to bypass discernment, use the word fate to leap over process, call you the one to make you ignore the lack of fruit. It will rush labels before there is substance, escalate vulnerability before there is safety, insist that if you pause to pray, you are sabotaging the connection. Hear me. Anything that withers when you invite me to the center was never from me. Another mark is secrecy with shame tucked inside. The counterfeit prefers corners over tables. It prefers late-night windows where loneliness blurs your standards. It will thrive on half availability, present enough to provoke hope, absent enough to keep you uneasy. It will avoid places where you are fully you, among your faith family, your calling, your work done with integrity. Why? Because truth exposes costume, peace exposes pretense, light removes the shadows where manipulation hides. Listen to how your system responds. Counterfeit chemistry spikes and then leaves you shaking. You will feel smart 1 minute and foolish the next. Your discernment will get muddy. Your calendar will get hijacked. Your sleep will fragment. Your prayer life will feel crowded with noise. My connection will do the opposite. It steadies your breath, clarifies your yes and your no, and makes prayer easier because prayer is its oxygen. Even when there is silence between you, the silence will not punish, it will rest. You will not feel a need to perform to keep it alive. You will feel invited to be honest, to let it grow. My child, obedience is your shield. Do not return to familiar pain just because it is familiar. Do not go fishing in the old ponds that left you thirsty. Do not send late-night vulnerability texts to prove you are brave. Courage is not returning to the cage. Courage is choosing the open field I am guiding you to. Delete the thread that only wakes you when you are weak. Protect the hours after dark. Turn your phone face down and your heart face up to me. Decline opportunities that make you rush your soul. Do not apologize for being careful with what is holy. If you are tempted to compromise because attention feels rare, remember what I told you. I am scheduling a quiet, life-shifting connection. To accept a rushed imitation now would be like closing your eyes as the sun starts to rise, and then saying the morning never came. It would be like hanging up the phone just as the answer rings through. It would be like walking away from the oven a minute before the bread lifts. Stay with me. Stay with the process. Let the dawn finish arriving in you so you can see what I am showing you. Let me give you simple tests you can apply without fear. Ask for time to pray and watch. Does pressure increase or does patience appear? Voice a boundary and wait. Is it negotiated, mocked, or honored without debate? Introduce counsel, a trusted voice, a spiritual leader, a friend with fruit, and observe. Does this connection gain strength in light or does it retreat to shadows? Share a small no and listen for the response. Do you hear sulking and guilt or respect and understanding? The right one does not need to weaponize disappointment to get their way. They know that alignment is not won by force. Be wary of the accidental crises that keep appearing right when you find peace. The enemy will borrow emergencies to tether your compassion to chaos. Not every rescue is your assignment. Not every tear is a covenant. You can love people without marrying their patterns. You can show kindness without surrendering your guard. Say it with me in your spirit now. I will not exchange my peace to prove my love. I will not lay my discernment on the altar of urgency. Here is what I am doing as you obey. I am tightening the circle of your attention. I am sending angelic help to reroute interruptions, to nudge you away from sudden detours, to dim the spotlight on distractions that once dazzled you. I am multiplying the power of your no, so your yes lands in the right soil, and I am placing a holy hesitation around your heart, so you can feel me tug when you start to drift toward what does not carry my signature. Do not fear missing what is mine by slowing down. Fear repeating what hurt you by speeding up. The one I send will not punish your caution. They will partner with it. They will not call your thoroughness distrust. They will see it as stewardship. Their words will ring true over time, and the small acts will match what they say. Their apology will not ask you to forget wisdom. It will build more of it. Their presence will not erase your individuality. It will make more room for who you are in me. My child, keep your hand on the handle of the quiet doorway and your ear to peace. If a knock arrives riding a wave of panic, let it pass. If a voice tries to hurry you through choices your spirit has not blessed, silence it. If a pattern you buried sends flowers to your boundary line, do not invite it in to admire its effort. You are not obligated to recycle what I have redeemed you from. You are free to wait for what aligns with me. Stay with me until the end of this transmission. Breathe. Anchor these words. The counterfeit will rush you. My connection will steady you. You will not miss what is yours by honoring peace. But you could misread the moment if you close your eyes now. Keep them open. Dawn is lifting. The room is clearing. And the path I set for you, simple, practical, protected, is becoming bright enough to see without squinting. Walk only with what walks at the pace of peace. I am with you in the choosing, and I will keep you until the promise stands in front of you, calm and sure, asking for nothing violent from your soul. My child, come nearer. Feel my hand upon your chest, the place where your breath stutters when fear rehearses exits you have not even reached. I see the flinch that happens before you answer a message. I see the scan your eyes perform across a room, measuring threats, anticipating tone changes, reading the weather of someone else's mood before you let yourself relax. I see the quick-draw apology that leaps from your lips to keep the peace you were taught was your job to maintain. I see the over-explaining, the rewording, the way you craft the safest sentence because you are bracing for misunderstanding. I see the suspicion that masquerades as discernment, how you call it wisdom when it is actually the reflex of a wound expecting to be reopened. I see the shutdown too, the numbness, the retreat into silence when the noise inside gets too loud. I see it all, and I do not shame you for any of it. I hold you. Hear me. The waiting has not been punishment. It has been treatment. I have not delayed your promise. I have been repairing your capacity to receive it. You asked me for a love that lasts, and I refused to hand it to a nervous system still trained to survive, to run, to hide, or to hand everything away to keep someone from leaving. I have been gently rewiring your inner alarms so that you can trust without surrendering wisdom, so that you can relax without dropping discernment, so that you can love without abandoning yourself. I am not erasing the wisdom you bled to learn. I am healing the fear that made you think panic was proof. This is why what I am sending feels quiet. Drama cannot take root in a restored heart. It withers where peace is the climate. The garden I am planting in you has been weeded of urgency, of volatility, of adrenaline dressed as attraction. On healed ground, fireworks do not impress. Fruit does. On healed ground, the voice that once pulled you like a rip current now sounds like what it is, noise. On healed ground, stillness is not emptiness. It is evidence that I have led you beside waters that don't drown you. I am binding your wounds in ways you can feel. The sudden sting followed by relief. The tenderness followed by strength. The broken places in you are being knit with patience and breath, and the seam will not split under the weight of real love. Let us do an inner audit together, gently, without accusation. Notice what triggers you. When a message is delayed, does a story start writing itself that ends with abandonment? When someone says, "Can we talk?" does your heartbeat sprint toward catastrophe? When you are asked a simple question, do you feel compelled to defend your right to exist, to explain your logic in circles until your throat is sore? When attention cools, do you chase, thinking pursuit will turn a person into a promise? Pay attention to what makes you retreat. Is it the expectation that your no will be punished? Is it the thought that voicing a need will invite mockery or withdrawal? These are not random reactions, they are learned reflexes. Bring them to me. Place them in my hands and watch me lower the volume. Now, identify what you have been tempted to call chemistry, that is only the body's alarm system lighting up. The stomach drop that feels like a thrill but leaves your appetite missing. The racing thoughts that cannot find a safe landing. The compulsion to check your phone every few minutes to keep a connection alive by constant CPR. The high after an apology that never becomes change. The flattery that inflates you and then pops, leaving you scrambling for the next compliment like oxygen. This is not alignment, it is a roller coaster. I am taking you off the ride. The right connection will not need your vertigo to feel exciting. It will not put your soul in a spin to prove it is real. And now, feel what peace is like in your body. Your breath sinks lower. It does not climb into your throat. Your shoulders drop, not because you stopped caring, but because you stopped carrying what was never yours. Your jaw unclenches. Time slows enough for you to answer, not react. Your eyes soften. You can look straight ahead without scanning. You sense warmth behind your sternum, not a cold hole that demands to be filled. Sleep returns not as escape, but as restoration. Prayer becomes less about rescue and more about communion. Food tastes like food again, not like guilt. This is not laziness. This is my signal. I restore the brokenhearted. I carry lambs close to my chest. I lead you where the waters are still so your soul can remember the rhythm of safety. When you feel this peace, honor it. It is holy. I am also addressing the systems beneath your skin. I am softening reflexes formed by years of walking on glass. I am soothing alarms that went off when no danger was present. I am untangling shame from your boundaries so that saying no longer feels like a sin. I am reminding your body that closeness can be chosen, not forced, that touch can be kind, not demanding, that words can build, not break. Do not be alarmed if memories rise as I heal. I am not reopening wounds to expose you. I am cleaning them to close them properly. Expect tears. Expect sighs you did not know you were holding. Expect sudden moments where you realize you are no longer bracing. This is me making room. Partner with me practically. Breathe with intention. Let the exhale be longer than the inhale. And speak to your body, we are safe with God. Step outside, feel the ground, and remember that I built a world strong enough to stand on. Drink water. Let it remind you of the still streams I use to quiet your mind. Journal the differences. How chaos once tasted sweet and now tastes counterfeit. How patience used to terrify you and now feels like a friend. Replace over-explaining with simple truth. Practice pauses in conversations. You do not have to fill every silence with assurance. Schedule pockets of quiet and call them appointments with me. Your nervous system is learning a new language, and peace is the teacher. Understand this too. The one I am sending has been carried through their own healing. They will not punish your pace. They will join it. They will ask you what safety looks like and then build it with you. They will not interpret your thoughtful silence as disinterest. They will treat it as sacred ground where decisions are made with me at the center. They will be willing to walk around old bruises with tenderness while those places complete their healing. You will not have to perform wellness to keep them. You will be allowed to be in process, because that is what love does. It builds rooms, not cages. You are not difficult to love. You were simply trained to expect pain as the price of belonging. I am rewriting that rule. I am turning off the sirens that kept you sprinting. I am cooling the heat that made you jump at shadows. I am laying hands on the parts of you that say, they will leave if I do not hurry. And I am blessing you with steadiness. I am blessing you with time. I am blessing you with eyes that know the difference between a performance and a promise. Stay with me until the end of this process. Do not rush your own recovery, because healed ground recognizes good fruit faster than hurt ground recognizes hype. The quiet you are cultivating is not a void. It is a sanctuary. From this sanctuary, you will hear the knock rightly. From this sanctuary, you will know, this is peace, this is safe, this is mine. I am healing your inner world so you can recognize love without fear. So when the gentle doorway opens, you can walk through it without bracing, without bargaining, without abandoning yourself. Rest now. Breathe. Let me finish what I started in you. The next tap on your door will not ask your wounds to decide. It will meet the healed you I am bringing to the surface, and together we will write a story that does not need thunder to be true. My child, come close and listen with your spirit, because I am placing a recognition test in your hands, a simple, holy filter that will guard what I am building in you. You have asked me, how will I know? And I am answering now. Peace will be your password, your pass-through, your proof. Not the kind of peace that pretends, not the smile you wear to keep everyone comfortable, but the deep exhale that happens in your soul when I am near. Stay with me until the end of this transmission, because I will also show you how this recognition will arrive in an unexpected, quiet form that could be missed if you are only looking for thunder. Here is the peace test in 3 layers, a discernment download I am anchoring into your spirit now. First, the spiritual layer. When you bring this connection into prayer, clarity rises instead of fog. You will not need to perform rituals of panic to maintain assurance. You will find yourself at rest before you finish your sentence. The words you speak to me about them become simple, uncluttered by bargaining, stripped of rehearsed speeches. Your heart will not feel like a courtroom. It will feel like a chapel. Questions may remain because process is holy, but confusion will not be your climate. You will sense a steady yes or a clean no or a calm not yet without the storm of fear dictating the outcome. I lead with peace, and my peace leaves fingerprints. Second, the emotional layer. Your body will tell the truth. Dread does not sit in your stomach after you interact. The adrenaline rush you once mistook for love is absent, and so is the crash that used to follow. You do not brace for the next blow. You do not scan their tone for danger. You notice you can take a full breath even while you wait for a reply. You are not shredded by silence, because silence is not used as a weapon here. You feel safe enough to be honest. No mask, no eggshells, no audition. Honesty does not trigger punishment. It invites deeper understanding. Pay attention to the way your shoulders drop, the way your voice steadies. Your nervous system and your spirit are in agreement. This is not a performance. This is peace. Third, the practical layer. I am not a god of chaos. The right connection will display consistency and respect, not in grand speeches, but in repeatable patterns. Words and actions will walk together. Time will validate what the moment promises. Boundaries will not be negotiated like price tags. They will be honored like heirlooms. Communication will be steady, not perfect, but safe. No ghosting followed by fireworks to keep you off balance. There will be follow-through, there will be accountability. You will not be asked to hide. Light will be welcomed. Watch how calendars align, how plans are kept, how no is received, and how not yet is protected. Now receive these 3 signs that peace is identifying the one I am sending. Sign 1. You feel safe to be honest. No masks, no performing, no walking on eggshells. You do not trim your story to avoid their insecurity. You do not shrink your joy to avoid their jealousy. You do not translate your boundaries into apologies. You bring your truth as an offering, and it is received without twisting. You can say, I need more time, and time appears. You can say, that hurt, and repair is pursued, not debated. You can share your fears without them being weaponized later. You can disagree without threats of withdrawal. Your voice is not taxed for existing. This is my peace announcing. You are safe to be seen. Sign 2. Your prayers become simpler, less begging, more gratitude. Your soul exhales. When you bring this person before me, you do not spin in circles. You stand. You pause in prayer and find yourself saying, thank you for the clarity. Thank you for the pace. Thank you for the way my mind is not racing. You are not pleading for signs every hour to calm panic. Instead, you feel a quiet confidence rising that I am already confirming in subtle ways. You sense alignment rather than adrenaline. You are able to bless their journey without trying to control the outcome. Your intercession shifts from rescue to partnership. Lead us, guide us, keep us, rather than fix this before I break. Gratitude increases, anxiety decreases, and worship replaces worry. This is not passivity. It is what happens when your spirit recognizes my handwriting. Sign 3. Your boundaries are honored without punishment. They do not rush you or make you pay for moving slowly. When you say, I would like to meet in daylight, they choose daylight gladly. When you say, I'm not comfortable with that yet, they do not turn cold to teach you a lesson. When you ask for counsel to be involved, they respect the light. They do not try to isolate you from wisdom. They respond to pace with partnership, not pouting. They are not threatened by guardrails because people of integrity do not fear accountability. They do not keep score with affection or threaten absence to gain control. They make room for the process because they care more about covenant than conquest. In this space, your peace grows, because peace grows where safety is honored. My child, apply these layers together. Bring the connection to me and notice the spiritual clarity. Scan your inner weather and notice the emotional exhale. Observe their patterns and notice practical consistency. When all 3 align, you are seeing my signature. If one is missing, slow down. You will not miss what is mine by moving at the speed of peace. To run past these tests would be like tearing up a letter that contains the map you asked for and then complaining that you are lost. Hold this map. Use it. Do not mistake quiet for empty. I am reminding you again. What I am sending will not arrive with commotion. It will not demand attention like a siren. It will settle into your life like morning light, gentle, steady, illuminating what is already there so you can see with new eyes. This is why I am asking you to stay with me until the end of this message. There is a detail about the unexpected form of this arrival that will surprise you, not with chaos, but with calm. And I do not want you to miss it because your mind was still watching the horizon for fireworks. As you test, I am also moving. I am aligning conversations, adjusting schedules, nudging hearts. I am teaching you to bless delays that protect you and to suspect accelerations that pressure you. I am filling your home with a thicker sense of my presence so you can feel the contrast when counterfeits knock. I am drawing trusted counsel closer to you so that light can examine fruit. I am giving you language for your needs so you can speak them without fear. You will notice that the more you honor these peace markers, the clearer your life becomes. Tasks fall into place, your focus sharpens, relationships untangle, and your yes and no sound like bells instead of guesses. Mark this in your spirit now. You will recognize this connection by the way your spirit exhales and your life becomes clearer. Not foggier, not busier, clearer. And when clarity and peace hold hands in front of you, do not argue with them because the entrance felt too ordinary. The doorway is quiet on purpose. The protection is in the simplicity. There is a grace walking toward you that will not make a scene to prove itself. It will make a home. Keep listening, keep testing, keep honoring my pace, and stay with me until the end, because the next thing I reveal will prepare your eyes to catch the calm answer you prayed for, even when it wears the plain clothes of an ordinary moment that changes everything. My child, lean in. I am placing a divine trail before you, not a maze to trap you in superstition, but a gentle path of confirmations that walk in step with peace. Hear me. I do not play games with your heart. I do not hide answers behind riddles to watch you panic. I am a father who leads, so the signs I set in your path are not meant to replace discernment, prayer, or wise counsel. They are meant to support them, to echo what I am already whispering in your spirit. They arrive as repetition and timely reminders, not as pressure and frenzy. I am giving you codes to notice, a frequency to attune to, and I will teach you the difference between my confirmations and the noise that counterfeits send to hijack your focus. Think of these confirmations as matching notes in a song you already know. When you walk with me, your spirit learns my melody. So when I place a note in your day, it resonates rather than alarms. You will not need to twist the world into meaning. Meaning will present itself with calm clarity. My confirmations bring peace, not obsession. Say that within yourself now and let the words settle. My confirmations bring peace, not obsession. Here are categories of how I will speak along your way. First, repeated words or phrases. Pay attention when a specific phrase you carried in prayer quietly reappears on a page you open, in a conversation you did not initiate, in a line from a teaching that mirrors the question you asked me privately. It will feel like an echo with kindness, not a shout with urgency. Second, recurring numbers. Do not force every clock to become a prophecy, but do notice if a gentle pattern begins to appear in moments of prayer or peace. Numbers that seem to arrive when you are talking to me about this connection, when you feel my presence heavy in the room, when your heart is at rest. Hold it lightly, let it confirm, do not let it command. Third, songs. I will sometimes answer you through a lyric that lands at the exact line your heart asked about. It may find you in a store, in a car, in a video that happens to play. The line will feel surgical, specific, tender, unforced. It will not send you spiraling into what-if loops. It will quiet you with, I hear you. Fourth, spiritual teaching. A sermon or message will surface that mirrors your hidden prayer with uncanny precision, not to bypass process, but to align your steps. It will nudge you into wise action, not reckless leaps. Fifth, names in ordinary places. The name connected to this story may begin to appear where you live real life, on a coffee cup, in an email signature, on a street sign. You pass at an unusual moment in the cast list of a show you rarely watch. It will not bully you into romance. It will remind you that I am near and able to arrange details beyond your control. Here is your posture. Ask me for a clear, peaceful confirmation within a reasonable window, and then rest. Do not interrogate the world. Invite me to speak. Say in your heart, Father, if this is your doing, allow steady confirmations to appear in the next 72 hours that bring calm and clarity to my spirit. Then release the demand. Watch lightly. Live normally. Keep honoring boundaries and the peace test I already gave you. If nothing arrives, take that as information, not as failure. I lead you with peace, and delays can protect you as much as green lights guide you. I am placing a check within you so you do not spiral. True signs lower the noise. False signs raise it. My confirmations simplify. Counterfeits complicate. My confirmations steady your breath. Counterfeits shorten it. My confirmations invite counsel and time. Counterfeits isolate you and demand haste. If you find yourself frantically searching for patterns, refreshing screens for omens, or turning every coincidence into a command, pause. That is not me. Sit with me until your heart quiets. I do not need you to chase me down the hallway of signs. I walk into the room and sit with you. Let me give you a simple framework so you stay safe. When a sign appears, pair it with prayer. Bring it to me and ask, does this align with the peace and clarity you've been building? Next, pair it with fruit. Look for behavior, consistency, and respect that agree with the sign. Then pair it with light. Share what you are sensing with trusted counsel who loves you and loves truth. Someone who will not be dazzled by novelty but will guard you with wisdom. When prayer, fruit, and light harmonize, the sign becomes a confirmation. If they clash, release the sign. You do not have to hoard signs like rationed bread. I am a generous God, and when I want to confirm, I have 1,000 gentle ways to do it. Expect quiet alignments that almost feel too ordinary to be sacred. An adjusted schedule that places you in the right hallway at the right time. A delayed appointment that prevents a collision and creates a meeting. A friend who randomly mentions a location you've been praying about. A book you pick up where a highlighted sentence addresses your exact concern. The more you walk with me, the more you will notice that I do not need spectacle to be specific. I prefer to weave peace into the fabric of your actual life. This is how I protect what I am growing, hidden in plain sight, guarded by simplicity. Guard your heart against obsession dressed as devotion. You are not required to decode every cloud formation or hunt for initials in every crowd. I did not design your destiny to depend on superstition. The universe is not a slot machine you must pull until a name falls into your lap. You are my child. You get to ask, listen, and follow. You get to be led. When a sign is from me, it will agree with my voice, in Scripture-inspired wisdom, with the boundaries we set together, and with the slow, steady rhythm of peace I've been teaching you to trust. Now receive this blessing. I am going to confirm what I am doing for you. I am going to make recognition easier, not harder. In the next window you and I agree upon, I will place gentle markers on your path, not to entertain you, but to establish you. You will feel your shoulders drop when they appear. You will say, that's you, and then you will return to living, to preparing, to honoring pace. You will not be trapped in analysis, you will be anchored in assurance. Stay with me until the end. There is one final indicator that will settle your heart and silence confusion when the door opens. It will not be loud. It will not be forced. It will be the way peace enters the room first, looks you in the eyes, and everything inside you knows. I am here, and this is mine. Until then, watch lightly, pray simply, hold your boundaries bravely, and remember what I told you. My confirmations bring peace, not obsession. My child, listen closely. Before the gentle knock reaches your door, there is an assignment in your hands. You are not waiting passively, you are preparing actively. These next 72 hours matter. Your obedience now is making space. Space in your calendar, in your mind, in your emotions, in your spirit, for a peaceful arrival that does not need fireworks to be true. Stay with me through these instructions and move with them quickly, not with panic, but with purpose. To delay what I am saying would be like leaving boxes in the doorway and then wondering why you keep tripping when you try to welcome what I sent. First, pray for discernment. Morning and night, come to me simply. Put your hand over your heart and say, Father, align my senses with your peace. Make my yes clean, my no clear, and my pace protected. Ask me to expose attachments disguised as devotion. Invite me to highlight people, patterns, and habits that raise your anxiety and call it love. Ask me for the courage to release what I did not assign and the humility to receive what I am sending. In these prayers, do not negotiate with fear. Do not bargain with loneliness. Speak plainly with me. I already know every tremor inside you. I am steadying your hands. Second, release old attachments. Open your phone, open your journals, open the places where unfinished conversations have been living rent-free. Archive threads that keep you on a leash to the past. Mute numbers that resurface only to stir your emotions and then disappear. Unfollow voices that keep you comparing your story to illusions and that spike insecurity more than they build faith. If a sentimental object in your space feels more like a chain than a memory, box it up and let it go. Whisper this as you do it. I return what is not mine. I bless what is no longer for me. I make room. Forgiveness is part of this release. It does not excuse what happened. It removes the hook from your soul. Say their name in my presence. Place the weight of that story in my hands and step back. I am not asking you to reopen doors. I am asking you to close windows that keep letting cold air into a house I am warming. Third, clean up the emotional loose ends you can. If you owe an apology, deliver it without fishing for a reply. If you made a promise you never fulfilled, bring it into the light and either complete it or release it with integrity. If you have been lingering in an almost that exhausts your spirit, step out and end it kindly. Do not send a long letter to justify yourself. Use clear, respectful words. If a boundary has been repeatedly crossed, redefine it in writing and enforce it with your behavior. This is not punishment, this is preparation. You are honoring peace, and peace must be guarded. Every unfinished loop you close frees capacity for a new beginning that does not compete with old noise. Fourth, stop entertaining what drains peace. Pay attention to your inner weather. If a conversation leaves you clenched, shorten its access. If a media stream spikes your jealousy or dulls your hope, turn it off. If your late-night scrolling turns into obsessive searching for omens, put the phone away an hour earlier and meet me in quiet. Replace reactivity with a rhythm. Schedule 10 minutes of stillness in the morning and 10 at night. No performance, no checklist. Just breathing and inviting me to lead your day and seal your evening. Peace grows where you prune distractions. Now adopt a practical spiritual posture of simplicity. Rest. Sleep at a consistent time for the next 3 nights. And let your nervous system recover. Hydrate and eat with gentleness. You are not a machine I am forcing. Your body is a temple I am tending. Step outside and feel sunlight on your face. Let creation remind you that I run universes without hurry. Tidy one small area that you look at every day. Your entryway, your desk, your nightstand. Fresh sheets, an open window, cleared surfaces. These are signals to your system that we are making room. Light does not enter a cluttered soul easily. Give it a place to land. As you clean, speak peace over your threshold. This home receives only what honors God. Drama has no key here. Prepare your readiness in wisdom. Write down your non-negotiables, not a fantasy list, but a peace list. Name the top 5 qualities that are essential. for a God-honoring connection in your life. Honesty, shared pursuit of me. Consistency, kindness, respect for boundaries. Define how you will recognize each one with fruit, not flattery. Next, define your boundaries in advance. What pace honors your healing? What communication rhythm supports clarity? What guardrails keep you anchored in worship, in community, in integrity? Write sentences you can speak without apology. I do not rush. I invite counsel. I keep my commitments to rest, prayer, and purpose. Finally, write a brief description of what God-honoring connection looks like for you. Keep it simple. 2 or 3 sentences that emphasize peace, mutual pursuit of me, and the courage to tell the truth. This becomes your internal standard. When emotion tries to negotiate, peace will point back to it. Mark this in your spirit. Within the next 72 hours, something will shift to make room. It may look like a canceled plan that frees your evening to be exactly where you need to be. It may look like an overdue conversation concluding with clarity. It may look like an old thread quietly fading without your chase. It may look like a sudden urge to reorganize a corner of your life, and as you do, you will feel the air change. Do not despise these small shifts. In the next 48 hours, expect an administrative clearing, a task completed, a bill paid, an email sent that untangles a knot in your mind. In the next 24 hours, watch for a subtle calm to land when you choose rest over rush. These are not random. They are construction noise from heaven as I clear the hallway. As you obey, resist the counterfeit urgency that will try to knock first. It will present as pressure, as flattery, as a deadline that punishes you for pausing. Do not answer haste with haste. Answer haste with holiness. Answer pressure with the boundary we set. Remember, what I am sending does not rush you, it steadies you. If a new interest immediately pushes you to break your pace, to hide your process from wise eyes, to detach from prayer and race ahead, step back. I do not lead by fear of missing out. I lead by peace that keeps finding you even when you take a breath. I am also inviting you to anchor your commitment with a spoken declaration. Words build worlds. Stand in your room or write it in your journal or place it where your eyes will meet it and say, I receive peace-led connection. Let it be simple and true. If you feel led, you can even share this declaration publicly as a witness to your own heart. I receive peace-led connection, not to impress anyone, but to align your mouth with your movement. This is not a spell. It is a stake in the ground. Do this with me now. Exhale. Release the storylines you have been scripting to manage outcomes I already measured. Inhale. Receive the quiet confidence that I am arranging what your striving could never secure. Your calendar will feel lighter, your room will breathe, your soul will recognize the difference between noise and music. Angels are already adjusting intersections, moving distractions out of your lane and guarding the simple doorway I chose for you. Keep your lamps trimmed with practical obedience. Keep your heart soft with daily prayer. Keep your life simple enough that peace has space to sit down when it arrives. My child, these next 72 hours are not a performance. They are a preparation. Your obedience now is making space. Do what I have asked. Pray for discernment. Release the old. Clean the loose ends. Stop feeding what steals peace. Rest your body, clarify your standards, and bless your thresholds. Then watch lightly. When the quiet knock comes, it will not startle you. It will feel like the answer you already made room for. And when peace enters first, look it in the eyes and say, I knew you were coming. My child, here is the reveal you have been waiting for. Listen with your whole heart and let me settle you as I say it. It will not arrive how you expect. It will not look like the movie you replayed at night to soothe an ache. It will not come roaring across your sky with loud declarations or instant thunder. It will come like peace stepping over your threshold wearing everyday clothes. And that will be the surprise. Not chaos, not spectacle. Peace. You thought it would need to be dazzling to be real. You were trained by old wounds to equate intensity with importance, to believe that only the person who shakes your ground can hold your heart. But hear me. What you expected often mirrored what once hurt you. Fast, hot, unsteady, a rush that left you thirsty. I am sending what matches your healing, not your harm. I am answering your deepest prayer, not your loudest memory. I am rewriting the reflexes that once pulled you towards storms and calling you into the gentle weather where love can grow. This is the divine logic behind my choice. I am a father and I give bread, not stones. You asked me for covenant, not chaos, for clarity, not confusion, for a partner, not a performance. So I am sending you someone whose presence calms your waters, whose pace honors your process, whose quiet consistency heals the places that thought noise was necessary to feel alive. The old you needed fireworks to drown out fear. The healed you will recognize the soft glow of a steady flame and know, this is home. Do not miss the packaging I have chosen. It may look like service before sparkle, someone who shows up not to impress, but to help. Not to perform, but to carry a corner of your load without being asked. It may look like responsibility, someone faithful in small things, present when they said they would be, gentle in strength and firm in kindness. It may look like humility, eyes that listen, shoulders that do not try to outrun your story, hands that build instead of grabbing. It may look like a simple, consistent presence that keeps showing up week after week with no hidden agendas, no disappearing acts, no games. This is the quiet doorway I told you about. The initiation may be a check-in message that lands at an inconveniently holy moment, a small invitation to collaborate on something practical, a neighborly exchange that lingers with warmth, a trusted pastoral connection that doesn't push, but opens a space to be seen. It might be a calendar invite that seems routine, but places you side by side in the right room. It might be a brief conversation after serving, where laughter is unforced and shared values surface without salesmanship. It may be as ordinary as borrowing a tool or returning a book, yet everything in you exhales. Do not despise the doorway because it is quiet. Most treasures do not scream. You will know it because peace arrives first. The room settles, your shoulders drop. You are not required to shrink or explode. You are allowed to be. You will notice the conversation feels like walking on level ground, not a tightrope. Time is present, unrushed, yet purposeful. You do not feel tested to prove your worth. You feel welcomed to reveal your truth. Your boundaries are received as wisdom, not as an obstacle course to be conquered. When you pause to pray afterward, you will hear the same stillness inside that has been training you for this very recognition. Allow me to say this clearly. Do not reject the ordinary because your wounds crave adrenaline. Your healing will look like simplicity that used to bore your pain. Your healing will look like a steady, gentle companionship that doesn't trigger your survival systems. Your healing will look like laughter that doesn't leave regret, quiet that doesn't feel like punishment, plans that don't dissolve into excuses. It will look like eye contact you do not have to earn, a reply you do not have to chase, a presence you do not have to beg to stay. What I am sending will feel like the rest you prepared for. I know you imagined a different entrance, but trust the way I protect what is precious. A loud door draws thieves. A quiet door guards covenant. I have scheduled this in such a way that your spirit will recognize before your mind categorizes. I am shielding your steps from spectacle so your discernment can lead. This is why your timeline felt paused, why I asked you to clear space, why I trained your senses to follow peace. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are not the exception to my faithfulness. You are right on time for the chapter where peace becomes proof. Hear me. You will not miss this by moving at the speed of peace. The wrong ones needed you frantic so you would mistake pressure for purpose. The one I am sending will honor the process. They will not try to outpace what I am building. They will not weaponize your honesty, rush your readiness, or isolate you from light. Instead, they will move with you, step for step, allowing counsel, inviting prayer, embracing clarity. Their steadiness will be your signal. Your life will begin to arrange itself around sanity, not chaos, and you will wonder why you ever believed love needed explosions to be felt. When this arrives, answer with a simple yes. You do not need to stage a performance. Offer your truth, keep your boundaries, invite me openly into the connection, and allow time to knit what I have blessed. Do not sabotage the beginning by demanding a grand finale at the first meeting. Trust the small starts. My son spoke of seeds for a reason. The greatest trees begin underground, unseen, uncelebrated yet unstoppable. This is how I will change everything for you. Through a beginning so peaceful you might be tempted to call it just normal, until you look up months later and realize your entire life has been gently rearranged around a love that honors me. Pay attention to the signatures I taught you. Bring them into prayer. Does clarity rise? Listen to your body. Does your breath deepen? Watch their patterns. Do words and actions walk together? If peace holds all three, follow me through that door. If one falters, slow down. You do not owe speed to anyone. You owe obedience to the peace I gave you. And remember, I am with you in the room. I am not sending you to a test alone. I am joining you in a blessing I authored. Finally, receive my reassurance as a seal on your heart. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. And you do not need to force what I have already scheduled. The timing is protected. The arrival will bring calm, not confusion. The surprise is not that the answer is wild. The surprise is that the answer is peaceful and ordinary at first, and that is why it will last. When the gentle knock comes, open without fear. Welcome what serves, what listens, what stays. Look for me in the quiet. That is where I have chosen to meet you, and that is where everything begins to change. Father, we come to you now for this precious one you love. Quiet the room, quiet the mind, quiet the tremors that rise when old memories try to speak louder than your voice. We invite your presence to settle like a covering, to steady the breath, to calm the racing thoughts. You are near to the brokenhearted. You are the one who restores the soul. Place your hand upon this heart and seal it with your peace. Heal what lingers from the past, Lord. Lift the shards of old heartbreak from places they have embedded themselves and wash them clean. Where words once wounded, speak a truer word. Where promises were broken, write a new line of faithfulness. Where the nervous system learned to brace for impact, teach it to rest in your safety. We ask you to mend the fault lines, to close the cracks where fear slips through, and to pour oil on the places that have been rubbed raw by waiting and disappointment. Let forgiveness be a gentle river that loosens the hooks of resentment without reopening doors you have closed. Sharpen discernment, Father. Train the senses of this child to recognize your peace as the first voice in the room. Let their spirit know the difference between pressure and purpose, between flattery and fruit, between intensity that intoxicates and integrity that endures. Tune their inner ear to the tone of heaven so that when you whisper, they can obey without confusion. Give them the grace to test every spirit, to weigh words against wisdom, to measure patterns more than promises. Make their yes clean and their no clear, and keep their pace protected. Build a hedge of protection around them now. We ask for a shield against counterfeits and manipulations, against the recycled scripts that try to drag them into old cycles. Break the agreements they made with panic, with scarcity, with the fear of missing out. Close the doors that lead to repeating the same pain, even if they look familiar and feel tempting. Cancel the assignments of confusion that demand haste, and silence the voices that leverage loneliness to force a decision. Establish holy boundaries that cannot be trespassed by charm, by urgency, or by guilt. Father, order their steps. Direct their path with precision so that appointments align, timing protects, and the right conversations appear at the right moments. You are the God who goes before them and the God who stands behind them. Perfect what concerns them, conversations, schedules, introductions, and the quiet doorway you have chosen. Let their feet stand on level ground. As they move through these next days, make their decisions simple and their spirit light. Let them sense your nod when to proceed and your hand when to pause. Give wisdom generously as you love to do. When questions rise, answer with steadiness. When counsel is needed, send voices that love truth more than novelty. When the heart wants to sprint, remind it of the rhythm of peace. When the mind tries to over-explain, bring stillness. Let your peace beyond understanding become a guard at the gate of heart and mind, screening what enters, escorting out what disturbs, keeping watch through the night so rest can do its holy work. We declare their inner world a sanctuary where your presence is the dominant atmosphere. Prepare them for the moment the quiet door opens. When the invitation comes in simple clothing, let recognition rise without striving. Let the body relax, the breath deepen, the shoulders drop as a sign that you are near. Remove self-sabotage from the threshold. No testing that exhausts, no rehearsed catastrophes, no retreat out of habit. Give courage to say a simple yes to a simple start. Let boundaries be honored naturally. Let patience become a friend. Let grace for human process be abundant. And let joy, humble, pure, unforced, bloom early as a witness to what you are building. We speak protection over the pace. Keep them from being rushed or delayed by fear. Guard them from isolation that hides them from light. Surround them with community that intercedes rather than interferes, that celebrates rather than speculates. Let the fruit of this connection be evident early. Honesty that stays honest, kindness that remains kind, consistency that proves character. If a counterfeit attempts to mimic the signs, expose it swiftly by the absence of peace and the presence of pressure. If distraction attempts to re-enter through flattery or nostalgia, close that window by your Spirit's firm gentleness. Father, we receive your promises without forcing your hand. You are faithful to lead. This child is willing to follow. Write your reassurance on their heart. Their steps are ordered, their counsel is provided, their timing is guarded, and the very details that concern them rest in the palm of your care. Let them feel the relief of releasing control. Let them sense the holy ease of being carried by a plan better than anything they could orchestrate. Teach them to walk lightly, to listen closely, to bless what is simple, to honor what is steady. Now, in Jesus' name, we seal this heart with peace. Place your mark over their doorframe. Drama has no key here. Confusion has no pass here. Fear has no voice here. Commission the angels to keep watch at the intersections. Sanctify their thresholds, their devices, their conversations. Turn them into channels of clarity, not conduits of noise. We declare that when the right connection arrives, it will be recognized by peace, established by truth, and sustained by grace. No counterfeit will sit where covenant has been reserved. We thank you for the quiet miracle that is already in motion. We bless the ordinary moments where glory hides. We agree with heaven's schedule and submit to heaven's pace. And we ask for one more gift, a tender boldness, the courage to step through the quiet doorway without apology when you say, now. Amen. And as a seal upon your spirit, receive this commissioning. Walk gently, stay prayerful, and when peace arrives, do not question what I have sent.